What is your 9-year-old sister's name?
Maggie.
Today I'm talking about what our 9-year-old's name is, because sometimes it can be confusing, and I totally understand that, even though I can't hear the difference. And that is what I'm going to explain today with this very cute distraction apparently helping me out, because he is braved coming upstairs with a chihuahua because he sees the camera. I'm just hoping if he jumps back up here it's without pause. It's not. It took me a long time to figure out why my AGs are a little bit different than most people in the United States. And it was actually in college that I really realized that it was different from most people. I think some of my friends in like high school pointed it out. I think maybe in high school I realized it. Like people started pointing out that when I said, come here, that when I said bag or sag or dragon, wagon, anything with an AG that is supposed to have that ah sound, it sounded a little bit different. But then in college, people definitely started to notice that it was different, and sometimes people couldn't even understand me. If I said, oh yeah, just put it in the bag, people would be like, put it in the what? And I'd say the bag, and they'd be like, the bag? Right there, the bag. B-A-G, bag. And people would be like, that's not how you say that word. That was when I really started to realize that it was different, and apparently hard for some people to understand. I started, serious. He basically never leaves downstairs, but right now, apparently what I'm doing is interesting. I was curious to see if anyone else in my family said it the same way as me. And honestly, I had to work really hard to even be able to say it the other way. The proper way, I guess. Like I can now say bag, wagon, dragon. I can say it, but it like hurts my throat. It feels really weird to me in my throat when I do it. And it takes like a conscious effort where I have to slow down and say the word. Anyways, so I asked my mom and my dad to say it, and I found out that my mom says it the same way that I do. And so then I went to my grandparents and I asked my grandparents to say it, and found out that my grandfather said it just the same way. My grandfather also said his AGs the same way. He's from North Dakota, and I wouldn't say he had an accent. I mean, it wasn't noticeable, but there were definitely words that he said differently from people. I grew up in Northern California, and so he said some words differently than was largely typical of where I grew up. That is where I got my AG pronunciation from. So then we had Maggie. And in my head, I mean, I spell Maggie, M-A-G-G-I-E. Her whole name is Margaret. We call her Maggie for short. To me, it does sound the same. Her name is Maggie. Or as most people would say, Maggie. I asked Paul what he calls her, and I was surprised to hear that he calls her...
I was born for this.
What is our 9-year-old daughter's name?
Maggie.
Yeah, I thought he said it the same as me. I never noticed that there was a difference. And then I was probably the most blown away when I went to the kids and I asked each of our kids, what is your second oldest sister, who is 9, named? And they each said it. Sadie.
Maggie.
What is it?
Margaret.
No, the other one. You said it.
Maggie.
Okay.
Technically it's Margaret because Maggie's her nickname.
Patrick.
What is your 9-year-old sister's name?
Maggie.
And James.
Okay. How do you say your 9-year-old sister's name? What's her name?
Maggie.
I don't think I can get Tessie to say it. Anyways, they all say it like their dad. So then I was curious and I asked Sadie to say all of the words, those other words, bag, wagon, dragon. And she says them like me, which I feel like is a minor victory. Like keeping the tradition alive. Yes.
How do you say the thing you carry your books in? If you didn't say backpack, if you called it book something, what would you call it?
Book bag.
Okay. What is something that a knight in shining armor fights that's green and has wings?
A dragon.
Yep. And what is the red thing that Daddy pulls Tessie around in?
Oh, I know what this is about. Oh, and it's a wagon. North Dakota accent.
Okay. Good job.
And I'm going to actually ask the boys and put theirs in here. Patrick?
How do you say the thing you keep your books in? A book,
A bookcase.
No. Book. It starts with a B.
A bookshelf.
Book. No, like that you would carry your stuff in for school. A book.
Bag.
Okay. What is something that a knight would fight? A knight in shining armor would fight a...
Changing.
A what?
A changing.
It's big, it's green, it's covered in scales.
A dragon.
Yes. Okay, one more question. What did they used to, they had covered this that they would come across the plains on?
Wagon.
Yeah, the word, how do you say it? You can...
Wagon.
Okay. All right, that's all the questions I have.
James?
What is something that a knight fights that's green and it has scales on it? It's green and it has wings and it's a monster.
Dragon.
Yep.
I thought it was.
What do you keep your books? What do you keep your glue sticks in when you carried them to school? Your book, what? Your book?
Backpack.
What's another word for it? Book something. That starts with a B. A book, book.
Bucky.
Bag. Can you say, how do you say bag?
Bag.
Do you say bag or bag?
Bag.
Bag. Okay. And say it one more time.
Bag.
Okay. What's the red thing that Daddy pulls you guys around in outside? Like at Nanny and Bopa's house that he pulls Tessie in. It's a red what?
Wagon.
Okay, good job. That's all the questions. You did amazing.
Can you just do one more thing?
What's the one more thing?
But it has to be something of this.
What is it?
It might be have to be something.
Okay, so now what are you going to do? You're going to see.
But can you see me dancing?
Barely, you're so close.
But can it be a video?
It is a video. I was doing a video this whole time.
I can you do enough of it?
And that's pretty much it. Because the girl's speech is different anyway. So, although so is Patrick's. Patrick's been in speech since he was 3. Actually, no, Patrick has been in speech since he was 1 or 2. So maybe his will sound differently just because he's had so much speech. So that is the story behind Maggie's name and why it sounds a little bit differently when I hear it. I know some of you have noticed it because you've spelled it the way that I say it, which it sounds like M-E-G-G-I-E, which is exactly how it probably sounds to you. I don't hear the difference, which is just weird. It's just, yeah, I can't hear the difference, but I know that a lot of people can, probably most people can. And that's why I was so surprised when I found out that Paul and I had been saying it differently for the last 9 years and I had never even noticed. That is it for today. If you like this video, we would love it if you'd give it a thumbs up, and if you're interested in all things autism, which is what we usually talk about around here, I'd love it if you'd hit subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Please don't pull my neck. I know you love my necklace. It's not an eating thing though.
Okay, good. If you didn't call what the kids carry to school a backpack, what would you call it? A book? A book what? A book? Okay. Say
Book bag.
Yes. Okay, what is a night fight?
What?
What is a night fight that is green and has wings?
What are you talking about?
What is the word for the what is the word for what a knight fights that is green, has wings, scales?
Smog. You're talking about Smog.
What is it? What's Smog?
He was a dragon. He was killed by
What do you thank you? I
Bard.
don't.
He's killed by Bard.
What do you pull Tessie in at my parents' house? Pull her around in on the walks.
A wagon.
Okay, thank you. That's it.